Test. Oh, there we go. Hi, how's everybody doing? Ready to have fun? Lively crowd. Yeah.
Well, hey everyone, my name is Hunter.
And I'm Jose.
And we're the two co-founders of Lucerna Studios. We're empowering middle schoolers' education through their passion for video games. I want to start by telling a little bit of a personal story of when I entered middle school. So in 7th grade, I started to take pre-algebra, and it was a really tough time for me. It was the first time I was challenged as a student in math. I started to slip behind in the classroom, and I really just felt like a failure a little bit. When I'd go home, seeking help from my parents, they were either too busy or they didn't know what I was being taught in the classroom as well. I started to fight with them, started to give up on some of the things I was being taught in the classroom, and I lost a lot of my confidence in school, and I ended up giving up on math as a whole. That's my personal story, but there's many more like it. In fact, 50% of 8th graders in the United States can't organize these 3 fractions in increasing order. Or if you compare that to our counterparts outside the United States, it's very commonplace for 5th graders to be able to do this type of math. I think it really indicates that there's a problem with our education system here in the United States. But there's a really good market opportunity for the game-based learning. Currently today, it's a $3.2 billion market, but it's projected to be an $8.4 billion market by 2022. And so there's 12 million middle schoolers here in the United States, and 28% of them are receiving supplemental education outside of the classroom. Whether that be tutoring, extracurricular that the parents buy for them. And these parents are spending around $250 a year on this extra education for their kids, and it presents an $840 million market that we're going to be laser focused on with our games.
The biggest indicator of student success is a kid's attitude toward the subject. And studies show that when a kid plays a video game to learn, they're not worried about making mistakes, they feel confident. That's because learning is a game. Before you sit a kid down in a classroom, he's out exploring the world, testing hypotheses, learning how to fail. That's how we're supposed to learn. That's why we set ourselves to create a library of experiences where you can't tell the difference between learning and play. With that, I'd like to present our first game. Medieval Math is a virtual reality learning game where you protect your castle against trolls and knights using the power of math. The math is, we have subjects from basic arithmetic all the way to pre-algebra and fractions in the game today. We chose virtual reality because it's one of the most powerful tools for learning. The fact that you can hear, see, and experience what you do is incredibly important for different learning styles and for disabilities like ADD and dyslexia.
The best part is, every question that a kid answers in our game is tracked. The game analyzes it, it becomes adapted and personalized to the student's performance, so the game is never too hard or too easy. It's perfectly challenging them. And since our games are tracking this information, the kids can see how they're doing, they can get better at it. But I think the secret sauce of it is that parents and educators can see this too, so while the kid is playing a video game and being entertained and learning, parents have actionable data into what's happening inside this video game. And since games are kind of addictive in their nature, when a kid does fail or they lose that level in the game, they don't give up, they come back for more. They keep playing it. And it kind of has a flip side where parents get a peace of mind and a little bit of confidence that even though their kid is playing this video game like they really want to, their parents are kind of at ease knowing that it's an educational video game.
So the coolest part is that we created this game with a $30K budget in under 8 months. Over the last 2 months, we've had 200 installs, and parents and kids really like our game. They're always coming back. So how are we staying so lean? We have partnerships with UCF and FIA that provide us with interns and curriculum designers that are willing to do research and gain some experience in this field. If we do need heavy lifting, we have a partnership with 302 Studios. They're a game development company, and we have a great deal with them to make sure that we can keep those hard features in check. And Launchable is an emergent tech marketing company. They help us with our content generation and following up on those leads that we've been creating.
You know, when we initially started this idea, we were trying to sell to the public school system. We realized that that's a really tough market, big sales cycle, there's 10 moving parts to every little decision that's made. And so we found that partnering with after-school programs and school districts is kind of the key way that we're going to be getting to market. And we're happy to say that we have a partnership with Prep Time Education. They're an after-school program here in Central Florida that's specifically focused on math. Later this month, we're going to be rolling out our first pilot program with them. And when it goes well, we'll be rolling out to the rest of their 50 schools throughout the state. And we've also created an alliance with UCF and the ITSEC conference every November, where we're going to be educating teachers on the best use practices for VR and games inside the classroom. And the best part is we're going to be giving them a copy of our game and headset and really just hands-on teaching them how to use this stuff. And so how are we doing this? Well, we're making mobile VR games. Everything's here on your phone. You go to the Android and iOS App Store, download it, and you slap it into one of these awesome headsets right here. We kind of looked at what other companies out there are doing games as a service, Xbox Live, Liveport, Nessie Learning Center, and they're all offering a subscription service, but none of them are really offering an educational games library. We can even offer a headset at a reduced cost so we can get these kids right into the learning and play.
So Hunter and I met 10 years ago at our university's ROTC program, where we learned how to build leaders of character and create lasting organizations. I graduated with a degree in computer graphics and came here to EA Sports, where I spent 5 years building efficient games and beautiful products. I decided that I wanted to make a bigger impact in my life. So I left that company, convinced Hunter to move to Orlando so he could take care of the business side. He has a degree in sociology. And we've been at it to build a game studio with a purpose. Over the last year, we were in Starter Studio, the first stage, where we learned a lot about customer discovery, lean methodology. We went to the Catalyst Venture Scale-Up program, where we learned how to build a company that is understandable for investors and can actually scale. And we were in the iPro program, where we had really in-depth understanding of our customer, and we got a grant to finish our MVP. Besides that, we also were finalists in the Rollins Venture Pitch competition, which is really cool. There's 50 companies. We're there, some of the youngest guys in there, so that was really exciting.
But we couldn't have done it alone. That's why we surrounded ourselves with some awesome advisors along the way. We have Eric Sand, who has over 15 years selling in the edtech space and leading companies to acquisition. Alan Schaefer's on board, and he runs a STEM toy website where he distributes those toys to over 1,500 private schools, and he's helping us understand how to digitally distribute services like ours. We have Clever Garcia, who's an EA lead engineer. Not only is he helping us make scalable tech decisions as we move forward, but really helping us understand how to build out a game development studio.
So this is a growing market, and it's very lucrative. So there's some pretty key players coming into here. Cool Math Games, they're a web-based Flash kind of product where they have a lot of games, but they're not very engaging, and parents don't really like it because it doesn't actually teach very much. There's Prodigy, which they have an awesome product, but it's just one game. And we know that kids will get bored with one game. That's why we're creating an ecosystem. You can go bounce around from different games. And then there's a company called Show Games. They have a product called Super Chem VR, which is really cool, but it's on the Oculus Rift, which means that you're asking people to spend around $1,400 just on equipment. So we're creating ours so it's easily accessible, which is one of the biggest decisions we made early on. Besides that, a lot of these companies are trying to sell to schools. They're getting stuck into these long sales cycles, these bureaucracies. We have thought about our marketing, our go-to-market strategy, and that's a big differentiator where we can take advantage of, being the early adopters there.
And that's why we're here today asking for a $200K seed investment round, which will give us a 12-month runway. We'd use those funds to build out our development team and finish the whole game library that we're looking at. We'd hire out a marketing team to get the word out about what we're doing, and then continue to chase those strategic partnerships that are so important to our go-to-market strategy. And so a little bit about our first year quarter projections. The key number that I look at is active subscribers on the top. We need about 2,500 active subscribers to be cash flow positive, and that would just be what we do in the first year. Yeah.
So we've planned our growth projections, and we know that by 2022 we can be making around 3 to 4 million in revenue, and that is only hitting about 400 after-school programs that they have around 100 to 120 kids. Very realistic. In closing, I want to show you a little GIF of when we were at a STEM conference. This is a typical experience. Sarah, she was so excited that she wanted her mom to play. And as her mom's playing, Sarah's saying, "Mom, the answer is 25. She doesn't care that she's doing math. She's having so much fun. On the other side, her mom, she's laughing, she's yelling. This is the first time she's experiencing virtual reality. And when I saw this, I realized that we were creating an impactful, fun gaming experience that we could recreate for millions of people all around the world. And that we could empower learning through the passion for games." Thanks.